Hello guys, welcome to the lecture 66 of deep learning series. Till now we have discussed entirely about recurrent neural networks, okay, and we have successfully completed as well. So now let us discuss our next type of architecture, that is LSTMs. Okay, so these LSTMs are very much important to understand large language models. Okay, the concepts of LSTM and also working of LSTM are really important to understand large language models. So what I request you to do is please watch the entire video till the end, and if you have any doubts please comment in the comment section. Okay, so now let us try to understand this LSTM in very detail. Okay, this is just an introductory video. Okay, just I want to give an overview of what LSTM actually does and why LSTM actually works. Okay, so I'll be keeping it in a very basic level. Okay, in from next video we'll be starting how LSTM works internally. Okay, so let's start our video. Okay, so let us say you have an examination. Okay, so just assume that you are having an examination. Now in that examination you are having 6 units. Okay, basically from 1 to 6 units you are having in your examination, and it is an also social examination. Okay, so what you will be doing, you will be starting from the very first chapter. Okay, very first chapter and first paragraph, and you will be trying to complete it till the end. Okay, now let us say you are at your very first paragraph and you are continuously reading, and wherever you find the important points, okay, wherever you find the important points, what you do, you just underline them. Okay, you just leave the unimportant points and only you will be underlining the important points. Okay, so this is basically how an LSTM works. Okay, it only remembers the important points. Okay, so still I think you have not got that right. I'll be explaining you with an example. Okay, let us say we have two buckets. Okay, this is our first bucket and this is our second bucket. Okay, so currently I am reading this entire paragraph. Now during the reign of Emperor Ashoka. Okay, so till here my first sequence has been completed. Now in this entire sequence till here, okay, till here if you see, it doesn't look that important, and this Emperor Ashoka word looks important. So what I will be doing is I'll be just storing this unimportant information in my very first bucket, and I'll be storing this Emperor Ashoka word in this second bucket. Okay, so now let's move on to the next sequence, the Mauryan Empire. Okay, this Mauryan Empire word is also important, so I'll be storing it in the second bucket. Okay, this the word is also stored in the first bucket. Next, became one of the largest empires in ancient India. So this largest empires and ancient India are also important words. So this unimportant information gets into this first bucket and important information gets into the second bucket. Okay, so again let's continue our sequence. In the early part of his rule, Ashoka focused heavily on expanding his kingdom through wars and military powers. Okay, so here important words are Ashoka, expanding his kingdom, wars and military power. Okay, so these are my important words, so I'll be storing it in the second bucket. Okay, and unimportant words are stored in the first bucket. Okay, so I want to give a small introduction about this first bucket, that is this first bucket, the entire context is temporary. Okay, so during the ray of okay, so this is initially stored in the first bucket, right? So immediately as the model, okay, as the model moves to the next sequence, okay, next sequence, this importance, okay, this importance basically decreases. Okay, so means as the entire sequence goes on, okay, as the entire sequence goes on, these initial words are drop down. Okay, these initial unimportant words are continuously dropping down. So this bucket is just an temporary bucket. Okay, temporary and unimportant bucket. Okay, so this bucket, second bucket, is an important bucket. Okay, the information is stored permanently and the entire contextual meaning of this paragraph is also stored in this second bucket. Okay, so if I want to tell in terms of LSTM, this first bucket is called short term memory. Okay, remember it is called as short term memory, and the second bucket is called as long term memory. Okay, short term memory stores unimportant information and long term memory stores important information. Okay, so how this short-term memory and long-term memory coordinate is, so if the first sequence during the reign of Emperor Ashoka, okay, first this entire sequence goes into this short-term memory, and this short-term memory decides what must go into the long-term memory. Okay, so basing on this entire sequence, the short-term memory is the one who decides what must be gone into the, like what must go into the long-term memory. Okay, so in this sequence Emperor Ashoka is important, so short-term memory sends this Emperor Ashoka to the long-term memory, and it only stores during the reign of. Okay, and as the sequences progresses, the important words are sent into the long-term memory and unimportant words are continuously dropped. Okay, so this is the entire working of LSTM. Okay, and finally the output is generated based on this long-term memory. Okay, so this is entire introduction of LSTMs. Okay, so now let us try to understand what are the architectural changes made from RNNs to LSTMs. Okay, so now if we take the basic architecture of an RNN, here we have the hidden state. Okay, so this line, okay, you see that this line represents the hidden state. Now what is stored in the hidden state? The hidden state stores the entire conceptual meaning of, okay, contextual meaning of the entire paragraph, but okay, but the initial information is left behind. Okay, the initial information of the paragraph is left behind, and only the final sequences, okay, the concept, the contextual meaning of final sequences is stored in the hidden states. Okay, so this is how basically an RNN works. Okay, the entire load, okay, the entire load of storing the contextual information from the paragraph is only on this single line. Okay, only on this single line, that is the hidden state. Okay, but how LSTMs progressed from this RNNs is they introduced another line. Okay, they introduced another line which is the long term memory. Okay, so here in terms of LSTMs we call this line as short term memory and this line as long term memory. Okay, so this is the architectural advancement made in LSTMs. Okay, so to more precisely explain you, if this is the input and this is the output, this is the RNN. Okay, so this is the RNN connection, so on top of it we'll be just adding this extra line. Okay, so this is only the architectural change in the LSTM with RNNs. Okay, so there is another change. Okay, you see that this is box. Okay, this is a box, right? So in this box we have some complex architecture. Okay, some very complex architecture is there in this box, and we'll be also understanding this important architecture as well. Okay, so these are the two major advancements made from recurrent neural networks to long short term memory, that is LSTMs. Okay, so now let us try to understand what actually are these changes and what are some basic important concepts in LSTM. The blocks you are seeing over here is the architecture of LSTMs. Okay, so this is the architecture of an LSTM and this is the architecture of an RNN. Okay, you can see that this is one RNN module, this is another RNN module, and this is another RNN module. Okay, that is at time step t is equal to 0, this is the module. At time step t is equal to 1, this is the module, and at time step t is equal to 2, this is the module. Okay, we are having various hidden states based on different time steps. Okay, so this is a basic RNN architecture. Now if we compare from RNN to LSTM, we can see that apart, okay, we can see that there is some extra line over here. Okay, so this is called an long term memory, and under this, okay, under this we have is short term memory. Okay, this is long term memory and this is short term memory, and inside this block we see that some complex architecture is being there. Okay, so this is that complex architecture. Okay, so this is a complex architecture under each block. Now this complex architecture is divided into three parts. Okay, so till here, okay, till here is our first part and till here is our second part. Okay, so the first part is called forget gate. Okay, first part is called forget gate and second part is called input gate and third part is called output gate. Okay, so these are the three basic gates in an LSTM. Okay, so entire architecture, okay, entire LSTM works on these three gates. Okay, forget gate, input gate, and output gate. Okay, so let us start with forget gate. Okay, now what actually forget gate does is, now in long term memory, okay, if we see this paragraph, okay, if we just see this paragraph, we have more words, right? Okay, we have more important words. Okay, so now all these words are not important to generate the output. Okay, now I'll be explaining with an example. Now let us say I have like continuous sequences like my great grandfather is a soldier, and my grandfather is a commander, and my father is an brigadier, and I am an software engineer. Okay, so let's say I have sequences of this kind. Okay, my like there's also like another word that my great grandfather is an soldier, like soldier, and he died, and my grandfather is an commander and he died, and my father is an brigadier, and okay, my father is an brigadier, and my I am an software engineer. Okay, so if you see, I have sequences, 4 sequences of this kind. But if you see, my LSTM first processes this very first sequence. Okay, it processes the very first sequence and stores, okay, what it stores, that my great grandfather is a soldier. Okay, it stores the great grandfather and soldier words. Okay, now if we move on to the next sequence, he died. Okay, he died, so I don't require this great grandfather and this soldier words from this long term memory. Okay, as he died, there is no purpose of talking now. Okay, so in this way, I'll be at finally, okay, at finally I'll be only having 2 sequences, that is my father is an brigadier and I am an software engineer. Okay, so only important words from both these sequences are stored in the long term memory. So in this way, this long term memory is updated, okay, through forget gate. Okay, forget gate is used to update the long term memory. Okay, that, sorry, not update, but just what like what context needs to be forgetted from the long term memory, it is decided by the forget gate. Okay, based on this input, what must be left, like what must be left or what must be removed from the long term memory is decided by this forget gate using this input. Okay, so next we have input gate. This input gate decides what to add in the long term memory. Okay, based on this input, what new word must be added to this long term memory is decided by the input gate. Okay, don't worry, I'll be explaining you this in detail architecture in the next video. So for now we are just keeping the video very much simple. Okay, so what this output gate does is, it helps in deciding the output. Okay, what must be outputted from this long term memory. Okay, it just decides what must be outputted from this output, like long term memory. Okay, so this is decided by output gate. Okay, apart from this, it also does one thing, that is it updates the short term memory. Okay, the output gate does 2 things. First thing is, it decides what must be outputted from the long term memory, and second thing is, it continuously updates short term memory. Okay, so in this way the 3 gates work in an LSTM. Okay, in an LSTM, the gates, okay, you can see that the long term context and short term context are continuously updating based on the time step. Okay, at time step t is equal to 0, if we have some long term and short term context, at time step t is equal to 1, we'll be having updated parts. Okay, updated parts of long term context and short term context. Okay, so at finally, okay, at the final time step, we'll be having the entire contextual meaning of the paragraph in the long term sequence, and the final like final few sequences contextual meaning in the short term memory. Okay, so this is how entire LSTM works. Okay, so this is the entire working of long short term memory. So if you have any doubts, please feel free to comment. Okay, so this is just an overview and a simple video about this LSTMs. So in the next video, we'll be moving on to the important concepts and also the working of LSTMs and also the mathematical concepts behind this working. Okay, so hope you guys like this video. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.